Good evening. Thank you so much for joining us. This is the main news on Camnet TV. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Here are the top stories making headlines in our news tonight. Rising cost of living worries LUSAKA residents as inflation hit 13.7%. Uka Alliance mocks date restructuring deal. MAMBILIMA MP CHISENGA joins MUNDUBILE and BANDA in 30 days parliament suspension. And in international news, TOGO'S opposition rejects constitutional reform cause for protests. And in sports news, Polo coach Avram Grant picks positives from Malawi tournament. Do join me with the details after this break.
Are you perplexed about how to overcome the financial, psychological and mental health challenges around you? Well, worry no more, because help is here. The Healing Word Ministries International, in conjunction with Camnet TV, cordially invites the general public to a one-day seminar on mental health challenges and mental wellness solutions for individuals, families, the church and society. Speakers include Dr. William Perry, President, Mental Health Association of Zambia; Dr. George Tafuna, psychotherapist, Chainame National Mental Health Hospital; Mr. Friday Salamo, Senior Mental Health Officer, the Ministry of Health; Professor Michael Munkumba, Executive Mentor and Life Coach, Mihachi Group; Bishop Peter Tanda Molenga, Presiding Bishop, Christian Word Center International; Pastor Lizzie Dakambosi, President, Aglo International; and Dr. Evans Perry from the Spirit of Faith Ministries. The venue is at the Healing Word Ministries International Church in Ibex Hill, Lusaka, on the 6th of April 2024 from 0830 hours to 17 hours at only 250 kwacha all round, food inclusive. You can get your tickets from Camnet office in Ibex Hill between 08 hours and 17 hours, or you can buy via mobile money on 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. For more details, you can call 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. Don't miss. See you there.
Thank you so much for staying with us, and now the news in detail. Some residents in Lusaka have appealed to the police to heighten patrols ahead of the Easter celebration commencing on Friday, March 29, 2024. In an interview with Camnet News, one of the residents, Kumwenda Bitson of Lusaka's Bauleni compound, has noted the rise in theft cases, especially amidst the ongoing power outages. Meanwhile, Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia Bishop Andrew Mwenda urged the public to refrain from illegal activities and instead use the Easter period for self-reflection and alignment with Christian principles.
Euphoria is kicking in as people brace themselves for the much anticipated long weekend of Easter holidays, meant for Christians to celebrate the resurrection of Jesus Christ. At the peak of these holidays, there are obviously activities that will either be positive or negative for some. Given the many accidents, theft, killings and other illicit activities during these holidays, residents in Lusaka have expressed concern about the inadequate security measures in various communities, calling for heightened security, especially in light of load shedding in urban areas.
What you find that 3/4 will see to light. Then akaenda malaiti you find that bakawala bavuta. You find that futi malaiti akaenda tilibena manzi. So basically kuti matenda yakula. Then people na bakawala futi amene bapakirako. Why? Because we are taking opportunity, because it could be malaiti. You find that you're muzuwa, by this time muzuwa so ngati kulizuwa. Mundu asanga tunde anyhow, but kukache fins kukala blackout ama tunda pena pale ponse because kwankala fins. So na hivi bakawala majanki bafana we are taking opportunity ngati malaiti aende kuti but which is not okay. So tipembako security, kukuliwa security, kukuliwa police, kutuwa tandizile pamoja.
Another resident, an online taxi operator, Jacob Shimabanse has urged his fellow drivers to take precaution when responding to bookings during the night to avoid falling prey to criminals.
Manje, as we planning to celebrate the life of Jesus Christ and other stuff during the long weekend, na wakawala na vipapura na futi boat to attack. So, as a driver myself, even to those drivers, those are going out, let's be load conscious. Also, to drink and driving and stuff, let's be conscious per load. Most my weekends, my accidents, you see because
Meanwhile, Evangelical Fellowship of Zambia, through Executive Director Bishop Andrew Mwenda, has urged the public to reflect on their Christian life so as to solidify their Christian journey.
Even if you are not a Christian, I want you to know that you can still celebrate Easter because you are spared by the grace of God. That's what it is. So I want again to conclude by encouraging all the Zambians today, rather beginning tomorrow, that can we sit back at home? Can we go to church and just begin to reflect and think over our lives? Are we walking in love with one another? Because the going to the cross of our Lord Jesus Christ is a showing forth of the love of God for his people, for the people that he created, whom the devil cheated or made to sin and went away there.
For the Zambia Police Service, members of the public should desist from engaging themselves in illicit activities to avoid coming into conflict with the law, as patrols will be intensified during the Easter period.
Intensify patrols around the Easter holiday. And what we have done is we concentrate ourselves in crime-prone areas. So those areas will be patrolled, especially in the night. So those members of the public who are bent to commit crimes, they should know that as police, they are equal to the task. We shall meet them. And those also who are in the habit of vandalizing ZESCO facilities.
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
Residents of Namushekendi area in Mongo district of Western Province are appealing to the government to construct a new health center in the area. This plea comes after the old structure was destroyed by a storm in January 2024. Speaking to Camnet News in Namushekendi area, Savoy Kalaluka expressed the difficulties patients face in accessing healthcare services at the facility. Confirming the situation, Namushekendi area councillor Mainza Chibua says the local authority and the Disaster Management and Mitigation Unit have been informed about the issue.
Heavy storm in January 2024, the roof of Namushekendi Health Center was blown off, leaving the management with no option but to utilize the new reconstructed maternity annex for all health services at the center. Residents of Namushekendi area in Mungo district are appealing to the local authority to rehabilitate the damaged roof. Speaking to Camnet News in Namushekendi area, Savoy Kalaluka has urged the government to construct a new health center as accessing health services at the facility has become difficult due to the lack of infrastructure caused by the storm, which destroyed the old building.
22 January, watahapula ya moya mima senke akwanku kasina mamusibonera outpatient isezi kwa maternity chole ba maternity kwanku ba tisa mama odi chole seri kukopana ni baba kuli ni baima alusazi mamuko na kweziza chokona noli kupera kwa muso please wa kupashangwe kuli balutwele makeke batolu yaira pateni sipatera sema sipona halela sipona alika kukubona kwa mapila ezala isikwa halimu kimushabati nelima pani bricks amushabati amandovu akuluba innovation aluzibi asimoni bona asikona aluzibi kubocha ziba cheko na no kupatu soshanga bibalwa kufere baluyangwele uzibe bapepi bawo na bakazi yele.
Other speakers include Mulongo from Monga village, and Mushimbei Nailamo from Nawinda village.
Hile, mimi eneo na ndili kama nikafanya sinye hile. Kona kuteteba ufumana fali maspata salon. Nulukupa kuli, muso ukone kulubonea fateni, kulukone kulutisa spata salon na shani.
One, spata salon na seni training school. Asaruna kisakale. Misate ni se story ya Uka. Mikona manolo sepire kuwa kona manolo alafela. Fama ni falu zile hila hula ruzimu somoka na kulu tuseza. Kulikambe utolu ya alafela se sincha.
Mino, na second area council, Mainza Chibwa, has confirmed the incident, saying that the roof was blown off in January, and the report was submitted to the council and the disaster management and mitigation unit through the office of the district commissioner.
Behind me, this is a structure, the health center, which was blown off. That was on 22nd January of this year. And we reported the matter to the disaster management unit through the office of the DC. We've reported the matter to the council, but up to now, nothing has happened. As you can see, almost 4 departments were affected, including some medicines and some other office equipment. This is, it's now a challenge. As you can see, we've shifted them to the maternity annex where they are operating from. Appealing to the government if they can come to our aid urgently so that we can help our clinic.
Mosewa Kabila, Camnet News in Mungu District, Western Province.
Governance expert and human rights advocate Wesley Mianda has called on members of parliament to conduct self-assessments to avoid recurrent suspicions from parliamentary sessions, as these suspicions detrimentally affect their respective constituencies. Speaking to Camnet News, Mianda emphasized the importance of MPs maintaining integrity while in Parliament to prevent compromising discussions on crucial national and constituency matters, which ultimately undermines the country's democratic standing. He expressed concern over the perceived targeting of suspensions towards independent and opposition MPs.
30-day suspension from Parliament has become a norm among members of Parliament MPs in the National Assembly of Zambia. Previously, Deputy Speaker Attractor Tsangano has suspended 3 members of Parliament for 30 days, including Petauke Member of Parliament Emmanuel J. Banda, Mporokoso Member of Parliament and former Leader of the Opposition in Parliament Brian Mundubile, and MAMBILIMA Member of Parliament Jean CHISENGA, who was today, 28th March 2024, equally suspended for 30 days from the House. Following these persistent suspensions, governance expert and human rights advocate Wesley Mianda has urged the MPs to self-introspect as their suspension from the House negatively impacts their constituencies.
Let them evaluate themselves. What's wrong with them? They have to ask themselves these questions. Why should they be suspended? I think there's something wrong, and they can still make adjustments to ensure that they don't actually force these speakers of the National Assembly to suspend them from the House. Because that alone, actually, as I've said, is compromising on a number of important issues. Let them get involved into all these meaningful debates, because they are there to formulate law. They are there to represent views of the people that they are representing. So once they are suspended, then it means they are not adding any value to that system. We are saying no to that, and something has to be done.
Mr. Mianda has further bemoaned the suspensions that are, in his view, targeting the independent and opposition MPs in Parliament, stating that it is a toll on the democratic status of the country.
Member of Parliament is suspended. There is a lot that they lose. One, they lose on allowances. They also lose on other amenities. They also actually end up being disturbed on the service delivery in their constituencies. So once a member of parliament is suspended, the people who suffer the most are the people that are being represented by that particular member of parliament. The recent happenings where we have Honorable CHISENGA, who at one time shouted at the president that he was a liar, but already she is facing that suspension. Recently we had many cases where we saw members of parliament from the opposition and independent actually being suspended by the speakers of the National Assembly. We are saying that alone is actually compromising on our democracy, is also actually devaluing our multipartyism. Because as Zambians, we believe in embracing many different political persuasions or political doctrines.
Chanda Mwango for Camnet News in Lusaka.
MAMBILIMA area member of parliament, Jean CHISENGA, has been suspended from parliament for 30 days for gross misconduct. Her suspension follows a complaint by Muchinga lawmaker Emmanuel Banda on March 18th, stating that she had placed the house into disrepute and disrespected President Hakainde Hichilema after a national address. Ms. CHISENGA is alleged to have on March 15th, after the national address, been heard shouting that President Hichilema was a liar. Delivering her ruling Thursday, First Deputy Speaker Attractor Chisangano noted that the President's address was an auspicious occasion that required members to be dignified and respectful.
30-day suspension seems to be the maximum ultimatum for members of parliament that breach the House laws, following the recent suspension of other members of parliament that collided with the parliamentary laws. Another 30-day suspension has been served to MAMBILIMA member of parliament Jean CHISENGA.
And government, and you took oath of allegiance. By so doing, you are expected to be respectful to the president. This is a house of honor, decorum, and dignity. I am therefore duty-bound to ensure that the honor, decorum, and dignity of the house is protected and preserved at all times. I wish to reiterate that I will not tolerate gross indiscipline and misconduct from any member. Finally, I wish to inform you that in accordance with Section 28(3) of the National Assembly Powers and Privileges Act, during the period of your suspension, you shall not enter the precincts of the Assembly, and this extends to the National Assembly Motel. You shall not participate in any business or activity of the House or a committee that you are assigned to in your capacity as member of the National Assembly.
Jean CHISENGA has been suspended for her misconduct during the presidential address on 15th March 2024. This follows the breach of Parliamentary Standing Order 4, Section 28 of the Constitution of Zambia. Like in the recent previous two suspensions, Ms. CHISENGA's suspensions also caused a division which was resolved through a vote leading to the suspension.
Close the bar, clear the lobbies, and lock the doors. The House will vote electronically only using the Bosch multimedia units. Please log into the system. When you hear the paging sound, the vote has opened and the voting screen is displayed on your microphone unit. Select the present key.
The Speaker in her ruling stated that the allegations to Jean CHISENGA are that she uttered disrespectful words against the President as he was leaving the House on Friday, 15th March 2024.
Capacity as member of the National Assembly. And 3, you shall not be paid the salary or allowance that you are entitled to as a member. I now order you, Ms. J.N. CHISENGA MP, to leave the chamber through the main entrance of the chamber on 30 days suspension as resolved by the House from today, Thursday, 28th March 2024, to Friday, 26th April 2024. I thank you.
Prudence Chiwe for Camnet News, Lusaka.
The United Uka Alliance, UKA, has charged that the UPND administration debt restructuring celebration is premature and a sign of desperation meant to show intangible results while misleading citizens. Uka chairperson Savoy Imboila says the alliance sees such staged jubilations as misleading to the Zambian people as it exposes fake economic achievements. She has urged citizens against premature celebrations.
As UKA, we're very, very concerned with the way the UPND keeps on misleading the public, because when they announced that the debt has been restructured, they did not give people the full information, because at the end of the day we saw that last year people were celebrating debt cancellation or restructuring, and again they came out and said that they restructured the debt. So it's very, very important to tell the people out there the truth about what it is that is going on. And as UKA, I think we're very, very worried that the people will be celebrating. To us, this debt restructuring celebration is very immature and meant to hoodwink people to show as if the UPND is really working and achieving things, and yet they are not. So it's very, very important for them to explain to people what exactly is going on. Because for now, they just restructured the debt in such a way that they have to pay what it is that they should have paid in a few years, and then they just increase the years. And also we're talking about the 108 million that they have to start paying immediately. And our concern is that right now the issue of money in the country is not really stabilized. We don't have money. Where is the UPND going to get money to start paying off the money that they're going to commit to? So this is what is really, really causing us a worry.
Lusaka-based political activist Dante Saunders has charged that opposition political parties should give credit where it is due regardless of their role of criticism. In an interview, Mr. Saunders says opposition political parties belittling the debt restructuring deal of Eurobonds deserve credit as the move was difficult to attain even to the previous government. He argues that the restructuring of the bonds is a step in the right trajectory for the country and has expressed optimism that the country's economic fundamentals will recover in a few months' time. Zambia on Monday reached a conclusive agreement with the External Bondholder Steering Committee over the restructuring of the 3.5 billion United States dollars Eurobond, resulting in mixed reactions among different sections of society.
Agreements reached with official creditors and the bondholders imply that of the debt which is subject to restructuring, about 75% of that debt has been restructured.
Zambia's clinching of a conclusive agreement with the External Bondholder Steering Committee over the restructuring of the 3.5 billion US dollars Eurobond has continued to receive mixed reactions. Whilst economists and others in the sector are seeming in consensus on the positive impact of the deal on the country's economy, the agreement in the political sphere has seen tough scrutiny, with many in the opposition welcoming it with caution. In a dramatic turn of events, the former ruling party, the Patriotic Front PF, is said to be claiming the deal as quoted by a named local newspaper. Commenting on the 2024 Eurobond agreement, Lusaka-based political activist Dante Saunders has, however, urged opposition political parties to give credit where it is due. Speaking in an interview, Mr. Saunders says regardless of who started the process, the current president and his government should be congratulated for putting the country on a right trajectory economically.
People that are talking about they started the process, anyone can say we started the process, but the bottom line, it was never ever met. There was no progress at all. These are one of the reasons why the people of Zambia threw them out of office. But the bottom line is they never ever delivered, and we would have been a failed state today. So they must give credit to where credit is due.
Mr. Saunders has expressed optimism that with the debt restructuring deal sealed, the country will soon see better social and economic performance.
That the direction we are taking with UPND is the right direction, and it is good for the country, and it's good to boost the economy of this country, whether politically, socially, and economically, all three in one. We are moving away from people pointing fingers at us. Even our image abroad our image abroad, thanks to UPND, is changing drastically. People are saying, yes, the Zambian people are trying.
For Camnet TV News, Afias Kaptula, Lusaka.
The country's inflation for the month of March 2024 has increased to 13.7% from 13.5% recorded in February. Speaking at the monthly statistics review, Zambia Statistics Agency acting statistician Chola Daka notes that this increase indicates a 13.7% rise in the prices of goods and services between March 2023 and March 2024. She further highlighted that FORSAKE province has the most significant contribution, accounting for 3.7% points, followed by the Copper Belt, which contributed 2.7% points.
Zambia's monthly inflation rate has continued to surge from 13.5% in February to 13.7% in March. Given an overview of the country's statistics, Zambia Statistics Agency, ZAMSTAT's acting statistician Chola Daka says the annual inflation rate for March increased to 13.7% from 13.5% recorded in February 2024.
Annual inflation has increased to 13.7% in March 2024 from 13.5% recorded in February 2024. This means that on average, prices of goods and services increased by 13.7% between March 2023 and March 2024.
Addressing journalists in Lusaka Thursday, Mrs. Daka says that the monthly food inflation rate for March was recorded at 2.4% compared with 2.3% recorded in February 2024. She says this is attributed to the general price movement of bread, cereals, mealie meal, maize grain, rice, meat, and vegetables.
Food inflation for February 2024 increased to 2.4%, and this is mainly attributed to general price increases in bread and cereals, meats, and vegetables. In contrast, the monthly non-food inflation declined to negative 0.3 from 2.2%, and this is on account of decreases in prices of the purchase of motor vehicles.
Mrs. Daka also adds that the industries with the highest growth rates were the arts, entertainment, and recreation industry with 39.2% growth rate, followed by the information and communication activities industry at 28.8% and accommodation and food service activities industry with 25.7%. But in contrast, the agriculture, forestry and fishing, mining and administrative support services industry growth rates shrunk in the month of March.
Which had the highest growth. Arts, entertainment and recreation recorded the highest growth at 9.2%, followed by information and communication at 28.8%, and accommodation and food and services at 25.7%. Other industries with actually had shrunk. Agriculture and forestry and fishery, that's negative 9.1%, while mining shrunk by 5.8%, and administrative and support services declined by negative 5.7%.
Cherish Sibote for Camnet News, Lusaka.
Some residents of Lusaka's CHISENGA area have urged the government to prioritize the high cost of living. Reacting to the Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection, JCTR, latest report on a rise in the cost of living for a family of 5 to approximately 10,600 kwacha, up from 10,300 kwacha. Mrs. Juliet Sikalumba emphasized that effort to tackle the rising cost of living should be government's priority at the moment. She highlights the challenge of affording household expenses for her family of 8 amidst the high cost of living. Meanwhile, some traders have noted that the heightened cost of living has adversely affected their businesses, resulting in decreased profits as their expenditures surpass their income from orders.
The instability of the kwacha, coupled with the surging inflation, has continued to contribute to the high cost of living. According to Jesus Center for Theological Reflection, basic needs and nutrition basket for a family of 5 now stands at about 10,600 kwacha from the recent 10,300 kwacha recorded in February.
The Jesuit Center for Theological Reflection observed an increase in the basic needs and nutrition basket in the month of March, which now stands at 10,603 kwacha.40 ngwe. This signifies a 2.9% increase in comparison to the month of February. The increase in the basket was due to the increase in prices of food items such as
Some residents of Lusaka have expressed mixed reactions following the continued increase in the cost of the food basket. A trader at Lusaka's Chisenga market, Sylvia Banda, explained to this journalist that the cost of doing business has drastically increased with dewent profits.
Ekirengeza kuti bintu bidule ni fee oil very high. That's why manjari yesafuna kuti profit apezeka profit we order apezeka profit we order apezeka profit. That's why bintu bonse very high. No ibira po 10,000 every month. Ni mahivera hapo jambo kuti 10 pini ni karibu no ibere ngapo na mmaji. Saka ya unga pena kula pone ni kutela tima pimi ni mapimisa chapeka pamel.
For Watson Piri, another trader, the economic situation can only improve if fuel pump prices are reduced. He adds that he's unable to afford a bag of mealie meal as his business is not rewarding as much.
Which means na 10,000 you're still pays like 10,000. I think na 4,000 they are paid even on 6 stikwaniza olupangono chamene tinga pempe ko nchakutikaya mwamene vangatitandizire ngatinazatitandizira bwa ngatizatandizikira bwanje kaya mwamene tizatandizikira ine kuli ine mwandi tikwanisa ero pani bapanga tiliko bambiri tuli almost 8 so 8 yo nikamba pano bana lero batia college lunch
The residents have since appealed to government to consider the price of commodities and mealie meal on the market. It can only be hoped that with the sealed debt restructuring deal, the high cost of living will begin to see a downward trend for the citizens to breathe a sign of relief. Prudence Chibwe for Camnet News, Lusaka.
We now take our first break. I will be back with more news. Stay tuned.
Are you looking for a reliable and efficient courier company with international standards? Then let UBZ Courier, your trusted partner in swift and secure deliveries, be your ultimate choice. Whether it's a small package or a hefty consignment, UBZ Courier handles it all, locally and internationally. Our modern call center ensures personalized attention for every client. For seamless deliveries within Zambia and beyond, trust UBZ Courier. Call us now on +260 763 062 680 or visit us at plot number 15 Mwapona Road, Woodlands, Lusaka, Zambia. UBZ Courier, a world-class brand that can be trusted.
Potatoes, the unsung heroes of flavor. From crispy chips to creamy mash, potatoes are the versatile superstars of your kitchen. Grown with love by our dedicated workforce drawn from around the community of Palavana. Savenda Farm's commitment is to see to it that we have potatoes that are grown right, healthy, big and tasty. For that quick fix or big celebration or that meal that brings family together, top chefs rely on the Savenda potato to create culinary masterpieces. And for others, it's that icebreaker to a delightful conversation. So, Embrace the magic of Savenda potatoes. They're not just a side dish, they're the heart and soul of your kitchen. Savenda, save nations, develop Africa.
Enjoy the benefits of an instant loan with us ranging from 1,000 kwacha to 750,000 kwacha paid express once collateral is viewed, valued and verified. Call us on 0763 595 359 or 0779 432 993. Classified Financial Express, here as your financial friend.
Thank you so much for staying with us. We now continue with more news. Government says it has decentralized healthcare delivery across the country with the aim of enhancing both efficiency and the quality of services offered in health facilities. Ministry of Information and Media Permanent Secretary Thabo Kawana explains that rural health centers have been furnished with essential medical kits, resulting in an alleviation of strain on district hospitals. Mr. Kawana underscored the government's objective of providing healthcare services in closer proximity to the populace.
Above 60% in the big hospitals, you have over 90% in rural health centers, and therefore the district hospitals are swimming with peace. You will find nurses relaxed. Why? Not because they have no work to do, but because patients have been taken care of at the primary level, at the rural health center, which is our goal. Our goal is to deliver health services to the doorsteps of the people. Decentralization is by everything. We decentralize from the money being in Lusaka, taking it right down to the ward through Constituency Development Fund. From the Panado being at UTH, taking it right down to Mukubudu Center. Right there in Pamuzipa, Galua or in Katete, you find that the medicine is there. And this is what this government is doing.
The Zambia Medicines and Medical Supplies Agency, SAMSA, anticipates a significant boost in funding for the health sector following the government's announcement of debt restructuring relief. SAMSA Director General Victor Nyasulu says the Eurobond deal is expected to catalyze substantial improvements within the health subsector, addressing critical gaps and enhancing healthcare delivery nationwide. He emphasized SAMSA's commitment to enhance the availability of medicines and medical supplies.
Extremely excited at this big news because of what we can expect from both the government of the Republic of Zambia and cooperating partners whose confidence in the presidency of Mr. Hakainde Hichilema has just gone to another level. Our excitement is because we think that we will have access to more money to enable us buy medicines and medical supplies on behalf of the government for the people of the Republic of Zambia. And this excitement is based on the fact that even without having concluded this one, before the closure of this matter, government was able to move the allocation of money to the subsector of medicines and medical supplies from 1.6 billion kwacha to 5 billion kwacha. That is an increase in percentage terms of a whooping 300%. Now, with the debt restructuring agreed, what more can we expect? That explains our excitement.
In response to the drought affecting the country, the Food Reserve Agency, FRA, has announced a strategic shift in its community sales approach. FRA Public Relations Coordinator John Chipandwe disclosed that the agency has relocated selling points from centralized district depots to satellite depots previously used for buying during the last crop marketing season. He says the move aims to intensify the community sales program, and it is operational in 84 districts across drought-affected provinces as a measure to tackle food insecurity. The agency has since advised local leadership to seize the opportunity and apply for maize under the program to address the needs of vulnerable communities and households.
Arising from the current situation, the agency FRA has re-strategized its community sales approach by moving selling points from centralized district depot locations to satellite depot locations that were used as buying locations during the previous crop marketing season. This means that maize shall be pre-positioned in satellite locations closer to communities in areas affected by drought, and consequently reduce the distances for communities to access the maize on sale. It should be noted that each household is entitled to buy only 150 kilogram bag per month, and affected districts such as Shangombo, Gwembe, Kawe, Kalomo, Mumbwa, Lukulu, Sinazongwe, Zambezi, Ikelengi, and Kazungula, just to mention but a few, are currently benefiting from this program. In this regard, the agency FRA has intensified the community sales program and is currently implementing this program in 84 districts spread across the drought-affected provinces as an intervention aimed at addressing food insecurity. The agency is selling a 50 kilogram bag of maize under this program at 330 kwacha.
United Party for National Development UPND trustee Grace Chivuwe has challenged the opposition Patriotic Front PF to accept that it failed the people of Zambia and must stop frustrating the ruling party. Ms. Chivuwe says the UPND-led government has achieved a lot in just 2.5 years, which has seen the reintroduction of free education. Speaking in an interview, she adds that the recent Eurobond restructuring deal clinched with Private Creditor Steering Committee is a great milestone that every citizen must appreciate and support.
The team bapelekamo ma clinics, manyumba ma teachers, manyumba ya manasezi. Apart from that, bayanga na kuti no security ichepa. Chifuka Zambia ienda ikula. Security ya chepa. Security amai bazimbambo muri hapo ni jamine tikamba kuti bakabwana la bativuta kufunika mapolisi tumapolisi tonse twamangiwa bangenesa over 70,000 chito, namely health workers, defense, men and women in uniform, teachers over 30,000. Apart from that, bayanga na again ndimo muri na paper muzitikinga pamene nikamba bakamba kuti no bantu banasebenza, you are holding the money, the Zambian money. Izi ndalama za Zambian bantu banazisebenzela, so tieni bazifole 20% naposa baibwezela. You remember kuti 116 councils sibenze kufola banachita clear, batazala banachita clear, retirees benze kuimba paja mwenze kubaona banachita clear, we can mention batazala banachita clear. So chamene tikamba ni chakuti tieni tifotokoze kuti ichi chintu chamene bachita clear bahakainde hichilema debate yamene bachita clear inabwela branch inakongolewa na ba out bamene banachokapo ba PF ni bamene banaikongola. So bamene banaikongola izo ndalama zambiri ni zakaloba. So izo ndalama bazikongole beve babapasa kuti zisebenzele mwebene Zambia. Izo ndalama sinasebenzele mwebene Zambia zinayi ndo mapocket mwao. ndiye maloji amene banamanga, ndiye mafamu amene bali nayo, ndiye manyumba yambiri yonse amene muona bana bawo bonse kulibe wosa ukabonse nibolemera. Izo ni ndalama zenze suppose kubwela kwa imwe. Nikakambe izo ndalama monga amene eche achitila aleta CDF ndalama zambiri tikalibe kuchiona hapo in this country.
We now take our last break. Don't go away.
Are you perplexed about how to overcome the financial, psychological, and mental health challenges around you? Well, worry no more, because help is here. The Healing Word Ministries International, in conjunction with Camnet TV, cordially invites the general public to a one-day seminar on mental health challenges and mental wellness solutions for individuals, families, the church, and society. Speakers include Dr. William Perry, President, Mental Health Association of Zambia; Dr. George Tafuna, psychotherapist, Chainame National Mental Health Hospital; Mr. Friday Salamo, Senior Mental Health Officer, the Ministry of Health; Professor Michael Munkumba, Executive Mentor and Life Coach, Mihachi Group; Bishop Peter Tanda Molenga, Presiding Bishop, Christian Word Center International; Pastor Lizzie Dakambozi, President, Aglo International; and Dr. Evans Perry from the Spirit of Faith Ministries. The venue is at the Healing Word Ministries International Church in Ibex Hill, Lusaka, on the 6th of April 2024 from 0830 hours to 17 hours at only 250 kwacha all round, food inclusive. You can get your tickets from Camnet office in Ibex Hill between 08 hours and 17 hours, or you can buy via mobile money on 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. For more details, you can call 0962 965883 or 0979 753010. Don't miss. See you there. Introducing Darren B., a touch of class. Are you looking for the perfect place to elevate your style and glam up? Look no further. Darren B. Touch of Class is your one-stop destination for hair and makeup transformation. Walk into Darren B and walk out feeling like a star. Your transformation starts here. Call us on 0772 870 588 or WhatsApp on 0972 049 213 to book your appointment today. Payments are made via mobile money or point-of-sale machine. Strictly no cash payments. We are located along Mossy Road in Ibex Hill, 4th close on the left after Kalikiliki Police Post. At Darren B, we pride ourselves on our team of dedicated and trained personnel ready to pamper both women and children. Darren B is open 7 days a week from 0720 hours to 1740 hours. From trendy hairstyles and stylish makeovers to flawless makeup, we do it all. Darren B, a touch of class.
Welcome back, and now in international news, activists and opposition leaders in Togo called on Wednesday, 27th March 2024 for protests to stop the country's president from signing off a new constitution that would scrap future presidential elections and could see Pharaoh Naxibe extend his rule. The constitution, which was passed by the country's lawmakers earlier this week, but now awaits President Pharaoh Naxibe's final approval, grants Parliament the power to choose the president, doing away with direct elections. This makes it likely that Naxibe would be re-elected when his mandate expires in 2025. But opposition fears the rule could become another avenue for Naxibe to extend his grip of power. We now look at more international stories.
Active
Activists and the opposition leaders in Togo called on Wednesday for protests to stop the country's president from signing off on a new constitution that would shift the nation from a presidential to a parliamentary system and could see Fornyasingbe extend his rule. Late on Monday, in an assembly dominated by the ruling party, lawmakers passed the new constitution, which scraps universal suffrage to elect the president. However, the mandate of some of these MPs was set to expire late last year. The opposition argues that the constitution only enables these lawmakers to manage urgent and current affairs and that the constitutional reform demands a referendum. The Catholic Christian bishops have urged the president not to sign the bill into law and called on Fornyasingbe to engage in an inclusive political dialogue following the results of the legislative and regional elections scheduled for April 20th. Police on Wednesday broke up a news conference called by the opposition, throwing leaders and journalists out of the venue in Lome, the capital. South Sudan's government on Tuesday said schools will reopen from April 2nd following a 2-week closure due to extreme heat across the country. The Health and Education Ministries said temperatures were expected to steadily drop with the rainy season set to begin in the coming days. During the heat wave last week, the country registered temperatures up to 45 degrees Celsius. Teachers have been urged to minimize playground activities to early morning or indoors, ventilate classrooms, provide water during school time, and monitor children for signs of heat exhaustion and heat stroke. Health Minister Yolanda Aweldeng singled out northern Bahr el Ghazal, Warrap, Unity and Upper Nile states as the most affected areas. Higher learning institutions have remained open though. Some schools in rural areas also have continued despite warnings from authorities that any school found open during the heat wave would have its registration withdrawn. South Sudan in recent years has experienced adverse effects of the climate crisis with extreme heat, drought and record-breaking rains and floods. On Wednesday, a French court handed former Liberian rebel commander Kunti Kamara a 30-year prison sentence for violence against civilians and complicity in crimes against humanity. The crimes were found to have happened during the first Liberian civil war in Lofa County in northwestern Liberia. During the proceedings, the court heard 22 witnesses, 9 civil parties and 5 experts. Kamara had been sentenced to life in prison during a first trial in Paris in 2022. His lawyers welcomed the shorter sentence but still argued he was innocent. The 94-year-old was arrested in 2018. He was the regional commander of the ULIMO, a rebel group that fought the National Patriotic Front of former President Charles Taylor. Some 250,000 people are estimated to have been killed in the West African nation during back-to-back conflicts from the late 80s to the early 2000s. In early March, Liberia's parliament backed the creation of a war crimes tribunal. Senators still have to vote.
In sports news, Chipolopolo coach Avram Grant says the Malawi Invitational Tournament was important as it provided an opportunity to try out new ideas and also have a look at new players. Zambia drew 2-2 with Zimbabwe and beat Malawi 2-1 in the just-ended Four Nations tournament in Lilongwe. In a post-tournament reflection, Grant says he will soon be making an announcement regarding the captaincy of the Chipolopolo for assignments ahead. The coach says he saw a lot of good things in the Malawi tournament, where Zambia emerged third after playing Zimbabwe and hosts Malawi. Grant says with qualifiers for the next Africa Cup of Nations happening within a period of 3 months, the Chipolopolo needed to do well. He says the Malawi tournament had helped him see new players and also try out new things. Grant says the door is open for any performing player as there is no one with a permanent place in the national team. That item wraps up our main news tonight. Here's a recap of the stories making headlines. Rising cost of living worries Lusaka residents as inflation hit 13.7%. Uka Alliance mocks debt restructuring deal. MAMBILIMA MP CHISENGA joins MUNDUBILE and BANDA in 30 days parliament suspension. In international news, TOGO'S opposition rejects constitutional reform, calls for protests. And in sports news, Chipolo Polo coach Avram Grant picks positives from Malawi tournament. Our verse of the day is coming from the book of Deuteronomy 31, verse 8. And the Lord, he it is that doeth go before thee. He will be with thee. He will not fail thee, neither forsake thee. Fear not, neither be dismayed. Thank you so much for watching. My name is Sylvia Zulu. Good night.